Oscar-Rinnin yesterday in their series against Fnatic. I just think it's quite funny that BrokenBlade has effectively become a two-trick along with Summer so far throughout playoffs. Kog'Maw, Xayah in the bot lane, Renekton, Jax in the top lane, whereas it's Caps who gets to have all the fun with his mid laners. He's played 5 unique champions throughout playoffs so far. I wonder if we'll see a new one today as we move into the ban phase. Already XL going to remove that Sejuani out of Yike's hands, and that makes a lot of sense, but it feels like that this man isn't bad on any champion that he gets his hands on.
I think on the opposite side though for G2, ban away the AD carries, take away the Vars, take away the Xayah, and just put Patrik into somewhere where he's just not going to be particularly comfortable. Maybe he can bring out the Kalista, so potentially we actually see something like a Xayah Kalista ban, but I think Patrik got caught with his pants down several times last game, so I think he definitely wants something that has a bit more safety in his toolkit for this one.
I will say that yesterday, the way in which it felt like Fnatic were neutered was by taking Trimby off of the engages, right? And I feel like the G2 are doing a very similar thing by immediately target banning that Alistar. We also saw the Rakan banned last game as well, the Nautilus taken away too. It looks like that they're continuing to attack Limit and forcing him to actually mitigate his engage. And when you think about what his biggest strength is, it is his engage supports. Being put on a Braum means that XL's proactivity options actually become minimized pretty dramatically.
And I also think it kind of flips as well. I mean, when you look towards Yike, I think when you're up against the Maokai, going back towards the Sejuani worked out really well because you have someone who can take the brunt of that ultimate as it's coming through. This time around though, with Trunda gone, with Sejuani gone, Yike going to be struggling a little bit to see what he brings to the table when it comes towards those tank junglers, unless they want to just give him the Rell and just go, right, look, there's our tank, and we can try and take something in response here for Mikyx on this bottom side.
What is Patrik going to lock in? Well, he decides it will be the Xayah. That LeBlanc pick, 2 wins, 4 losses throughout the course of best of Abbedagge. Something that you talked a little bit about in terms of how Europe utilizes the pick. Abbedagge, we have seen him go for that static shiv build. I wonder if he'll continue to play that sort of wave push style. And Limits, now the big question, what will he be running? So much of his most played champion pool has been removed. We did just discuss the kind of impact that he does have when he's on those engaged tools. Mikyx will be running that Braum in the bottom lane, so that Rell will be assigned to Yike. Now we can figure out what Caps will be running here for his mid lane pick.
Yeah, I think again, as Vedi was saying, just taking away the opportunity for Limit to really have that big opportunity in the bot side. You've gotten the Braum now. I mean, Rakan, Nautilus, Alistar, all taken off the board.
Wait a minute.
But
is it the Xayah mid? It's the Xayah mid. We're going to get to see another champion that we haven't seen in the hands of Caps. You asked that question at the beginning of the series. Can this man play it in the mid lane? It looks like that he's going to do just that.
And shout out to Goberg, who was the one who brought it up. Like, Caps hasn't really been playing it in solo queue, hasn't brought it out on Thrift, but this will be the first time now we really get to see that pick.
Or is it Kog'Maw AP mid?
I'm going to assume it's going to be that Xayah. It will be the 3rd time ever that Caps has played it, and the response is going to be the Pyke. Okay, let's zoom out. We're going to assume that Xayah is going into Caps' hands. And of course, with Limit running the Pyke, it kind of ticks some of those boxes that we were talking about. We like him on the front foot. We like him to engage. I didn't quite expect him to pick the champion that ends all of the fights. What do you make of this?
Yeah, I think if you're XL, it's like, we better be going to game 3 by 8 o'clock. Otherwise, it's not going to be a pretty sight because the scaling that you have here on G2 side is absolutely absurd. Whereas when you look at static shiv LeBlanc, you look at Pyke, even the Gnar to a certain extent as well, although Odo had a phenomenal performance on it yesterday, you're just running out of steam by the time you kind of hit the 25 to 30 minute mark. So this is a game where it is snowball to all hell or you're going to lose out quick.
For Limits, this is his 2nd ever Pyke game. The previous one did not go well. It was a loss. Of course, he is going to be running into this Kog'Maw from Summer that has been a terror throughout the course of the best ofs.
I'd be very, very, very surprised if we saw it, but there is a new Pyke build that's been coming out where you actually build him tank. But I imagine Limit is going to just go for, hey, look, I'm going to go for that classical where I just want to kill you as fast as possible. But we'll have to see exactly what Limit decides to go with, especially with Halo Blade's already there. I think we'll be seeing him just go for that traditional Pyke.
Well, XL Esports, you need to play faster to make this work. Let's hit the rift for game 2. So welcome to Summoner's Rift. Abbedagge playing that LeBlanc, limit on the Pyke. Of course, in game number 1, Hansama was left alone in lane a lot. I do not anticipate that to happen significantly this time around. And I think for XL, something that we were discussing, we want to see them punish the opportunities, push G2 when they have the numbers advantages. And I think when you've got that Pyke, you've got that LeBlanc, I think you absolutely have to do that, and you have to do it early.
Yeah, I think the interesting adaptation here is the fact that, like, Limit has said, okay, well, you roamed a lot last game. Rather than necessarily attacking the Hansama, screw it, I'll roam too. I'll just match you in the 2v2s, the 3v3s, and I think that with LeBlanc Pyke, I should be able to win out. So XL trying to match Mikyx in terms of his impact across the map. Obviously on Braum it is a little bit harder, but don't be confused, Mikyx will roam on Braum and he will find a way to make those ganks happen. Limit and Patrik have snuck into this lane though, but it looks like they're immediately going to disengage and not be too worried about that.
I think you do need to find a way as Limit though to really get things heated up early, because last time Hansama played this Kog'Maw against XL, 14 kills on the champion. Hansama has been having an absolute blinder on this pick, scaling mega strong into the late game, and already we see what can Limit do.
Pulled back, he's taken a lot of damage and ignited already. He's zoned away. If any of those bone skewers connect again, juicy target available to him. BrokenBlade selected this Jax phase 1 blind into Odo. So see whether or not he can take control of the lane. Of course, with regards to XL, once again, his limit. I think that bone skewer, both level 2. There's not a lot of kill threat just yet, but it was the fact that in this bottom lane, the movement from Mikyx across the rift kind of unlocked G2's control, allowed them to suffocate XL in game number 1.
Just laughing at the bot lane CS. Last time it was near perfect from Hansama during the first few waves, but this time there's been so much trading that they've actually dropped so much farm. Obviously not going to be too dramatic in terms of the overall impact, but Yike is cooking up an interesting path. He's trying to avoid being spotted by that wave. Level 2 for Odoamne will get the Mega, but I don't think that's a realistic dive. And for Yike, he's going to waste a lot of time. There's nothing for him to steal. He will drop a ward down. Limit connects the hook.
We'll find a stun onto Hans. Does manage to land it onto Mikyx. The Unbreakable preventing some of that follow-up. Again, Limit just applying that pressure, consistently pushing G2 away. They're down. CS for now should be able to balance most of that with the wave. And as you mentioned, Vedius, Yike, no real opportunities. He did manage to put a very deep ward just behind that red buff. Some information to garner from it. Peach is still on that clear, looking to pick up the Skull and Crab for now.
I think this is where we're going to see Patrik trying to just operate by his lonesome. Resets, gets the cull, and this will open Limit now to actually start trying to roam, especially with where the wave is positioned now. Mid lane, you can see Peach, Limit, both in position here to see if they can get onto Caps, but I don't think there'll be particularly much yet.
Serial Chains connects, the Bone Skewer does too. Caps below 200, Peach goes forward, first blood secured once again for XL.
Never mind, they get the kill anyway. Great job from XL, and this is what we're talking about, getting Limit out of that lane and making things happen.
A really nice kill. Just the execution was very, very clean here. They patiently set up the wave. Limit flies over all the chains connect. He doesn't flash the root, which means that it sets up Limit for the Q to connect, and the flash in for Peach at that point is far too late. Caps tries to hold his summoning spell for a little bit too long, and XL is able to draw first blood.
Very nicely done. Of course, Caps was one of the hugely influential players in game number 1. Just a quick story time before any further action. 15 splits, he's made finals in 8 of them. Has a finals win rate of 80%. So for XL, this is not only the individual player that they have to overcome, the most successful organization that Europe has ever produced as well in G2.
As G2 as well. Hang on. Mikyx might be in trouble here, but we'll be able to back away to safety.
Holding our breath, yeah, literally just waiting for the engages to play out. Right now, again, a lot of focus mid lane during the early stages of game number 1. A number of roams went there as well, both for Abbedagge and for Caps.
But yeah, for XL, I mean, look, not only would they be joining an exclusive club in, this would be the 6th title that contender that we've had our title holder even, that we've had in the LEC. It'd also be only the third team that has ever beaten G2 in a finals. Fnatic and Rogue, the other two teams that have managed to take that blood, but we'll have to see if Xayah can try and bounce back after game 1 and actually push them forward to that game 4, potentially game 5.
Xayah right now trying to play defensive. Patrik already used that flash and cleanse because of the fact that Limit was roaming away from the lane. Keep an eye there, Yike in the river, and Peach is just by the Gnar.
So you can see a small difference in their approach. The moment that Limit isn't in the lane, Hansama and Mikyx immediately see this as an opportunity to try and punish Patrik, and Yike already hovering around the bot side of the map. This wave is still pushing towards them, and Hansama and Mikyx are just not afraid to keep these trades going. Hansama using the extra range from his W to just bully out Xayah.
Bone Skewer connects, Hansama cleanses away from it. Limit tries to deep water dive back. Peach level 5. That's a low Hansama, low mana Mikyx, but they're not going for it just yet. Limit connects once again with that skewer, respecting the CC, respecting the shield that can come up, and Xayah, they still hold on to that small lead.
Patrik, I think, was also very low. You can see there, just with the mana-wise, wouldn't quite have enough at the start of that to get the full combo he wanted off with his abilities. So that's why you can see hesitation on Peach as to whether he wanted to try and jump in on that one, despite the hook coming through from Limit. Should net them though. Dragon here, as just with the amount of control Xayah get on that bot side and in mid lane, this would be an easy pick.
Yeah, notice as well Peach, he's just been farming up a storm. He does have that camp advantage over Yike, very close to the level 6. And with the health advantage that they have in bot, as you highlighted, Dagda, they're looking to secure the Dragon, but Limit's just being obnoxious. Always a delicate balance with a Pyke. At what point are you overstaying your welcome? Limit saying, well, I haven't overstayed it yet. I've still got time, but no mana.
Been exhausted, stunned up, locked down, and kills secured. Well, we found the Limit.
Yeah, he did in fact find his limit. That is very true. Quick shot. And it's always the dangerous hopping out. Peach with level 6.
All right, Patrik has got his feathers as well. Unbreakable. Shielding hunts for now. Flash still available to him, and Nature's Grasp did not do enough. Abbedagge on a slow roam as Yike and BrokenBlade turn their attention to Odoamne. He's dropped by BB's Jax. Hansama and Mikyx still got flashes available. Abbedagge needs to try and find that target, distorts forward, doesn't connect with the chains, stunned in place, finally looking for a kill! No, he doesn't do it!
What?
He does not do it! Mikyx, you so fine! How?
How? What? That? What? Oh my, is this appropriate to say Hansama got that dog in him? Is this appropriate? Because wow, they were able to walk away alive. We're gonna get the slow-mo. Abbedagge literally needed one more auto attack. So first things first, the Guardian proc. Okay,
Sidestep.
Yeah, the sidestep into the stun. Hansama applies the Q, gets a little bit more damage down. The bone plating? Was it? No, he can't even hit him. No, he actually hits Mikyx, and then that's not enough to kill, and then he can't even target him because Mikyx's standing on top of him with the Unbreakable.
That was insane. One, as you say, the bone plating, and then with the shield just coming up in time. That is heartbreak. I was getting flashbacks to Fnatic yesterday, but now we're getting flashbacks to topside.
Limit has already run into Mikyx. The rest of Xayah starting to group up, but it's a 3 versus 4 for now. Odo's Mega Gnar is currently active, and he's roaming from the top lane. BrokenBlade's backed away. Look at the damage from Hansama. Limit's being chunked down, burned down, stunned in place, and the Captain Rain from Caps secures the 4th kill for G2. Over the wall as Peach is now being burned down and spat on by Hansama. Yike holds him in place and secures yet another for G2.
This is supposed to be the late game team. G2 were supposed to go, nah lads, we're going to take it easy, take it respectful, and then we'll play for 3 items. And they're like, well, I have 3 minions, does that count? And they're just going in anyway.
I mean, this Braum pick has shown so much value already. Caps now toe-to-toe with Abba. Is Abbedagge coming away worse for wear? Distorts back once again. Chains about to proc, and Abba's dashing out for his life. Killer Instinct not available for Caps. That shield not there.
Oh, look, top lane.
And we're going to have yet another engage. Limit's only level 5 for now. BrokenBlade flashes away from the stun. Odoamne goes Mega, gets the Gnar, doesn't find the wall just yet. The crunch does, however, and here comes Yike. Kill not secured.
No shot! No shot!
How the hell do they keep doing this? G2 Esports gets away with their life once more.
No, man. No. G2 cannot keep getting away with this. That should have been another kill for Xayah. And at this point, you just have to say it. G2 is just straight up outplaying Xayah.
They are smurfing on them. I mean, there is no world where you should get away with this. Like, BrokenBlade, I mean, really nice job with the flash, right? Manages to get away from the undertow coming through from Limit. But at this stage, it was like, you're gone for, right? Odo manages to hit the Mega Gnar. He's out of the equation. You can't really do particularly much from this position. But just barely getting the kill here and the stun and just getting that knockback as well means that Limit can't get into position to finish that auto. I was scared for Limit here though, because if he didn't get that E over the wall, break vision, those autos from the minions would have killed him.
The other crazy thing is, so the counter strike from BrokenBlade also interrupted the Q that he was beginning to channel, so he had nothing. There was nothing that Limit could do to offer any extra damage, and then the second that he tried to get the Q up again, that's when the stun actually came through, so just a series of unfortunate events for Limit. He doesn't quite have that 6 yet. I expect him to be very, very close, but wow, 6 kills to 1 now. G2 1.5k gold lead.
Yeah, a series of unfortunate events brought to you by Limity Snickers, apparently, so not really working out too well for Excel in this one. We'll have to see what they can do now.
I cannot wait to see the mechanics breakdowns of those plays in slow motion. Literally a matter of millimeters keeping G2 alive. It's a 1,400 gold lead. Keep in mind, however, they did not secure that first dragon. The next one's spawning in 30 seconds. But for XL, you start to get a little bit anxious, a little bit nervous. Of course, because for them, in terms of the composition they're facing into, if they are not able to blow up their targets, the scaling in the front line is just going to be impossible to burn through.
I can tell you right now, Quickshot, without a shadow of a doubt, my mother is very stressed looking at the score. She was very excited to see them win yesterday, but right now G2 is just looking far too dominant. Of course, the game is not over just yet, but Dagda's already highlighted to everyone the scaling. Now Camp's locked up.
Held in place, level 6 available for Limit, but the rest of G2
cavalry.
Patrik is now stepping into the fray as Nature's Grasp is thrown down. Yike secures the kill onto Peach, and Limit is holding on to that death from below. These frontliners for G2 are going to take time to burn through. Limit's caught out, held in place, locked down, forced to dive over the wall, and the Featherstorm flies, needs to pull them back, finds a route down, and not enough damage just yet. Mikyx's shield is facing the wrong direction. Abba and Odo, no teleports available, they're not able to support.
Mikyx had a great shield. They end up putting it the opposite direction to stop the feathers from doing any damage that Patrik had pulled through, and now Odo trying to see if he can bring it to BrokenBlade. He was the one that stepped up yesterday for XL, but it just feels like there's no gas in the tank for XL in this one.
Such a great spot there, preventing that damage, and of course now XL, despite the fact that they had lost the numbers, they do have a couple of seconds onto this dragon. Rift Herald is dropped in the middle lane, exactly as to be expected. No ultimate available for Peach. Mikyx's the target, Hansama gets jumped to. Both of them still have flash. The dragon actually resets for now. Abbedagge level 10, sitting on the sidelines looking for Hunt. Not a lot of damage yet. Only got that static shiv, and the dragon's still standing, still available.
Still no ultimate for Peach, so Excel just posturing forward. Yike doesn't get it. Peach stolen.
XL manages to smite that one away. Mikyx once again with the shield, blocking up the damage. Smash down comes out, and Limit at least finds a kill. All of a sudden, Caps has got one in reply. Limit flashes away to safety, and Hansama uses that ultimate, the living artillery, to take him down. Finally, Abbedagge gets the shutdown, but it is still a 2,000 gold deficit, and only the dragons to speak of.
I mean, frankly, considering how chaotic this game is, I'm surprised that the gold gap is only 1.5k. XL are kind of holding on with what they can, finding picks here and there. They are able to secure the dragon, but XL really are being routed at every turn. It feels like that they just can't find any engage that they want. Limit finding that pick on a Mikyx was good. The fact that Hansama got one back, Abbedagge getting another one. I believe the trade overall was 2 for 2, with the dragon going over to XL.
I think the saving grace for XL, as you say, is those 2 dragons going over. Yeah, they have the opportunity to try and see if they can maybe fight for some of these solo opportunities as they're starting to hit that 2-item spike, which is realistically where this composition becomes an absolute menace. But it's a little bit of a long shot because G2 have been so accelerated with all the kills they picked up as well.
Of course, Limit is still trying to find those opportunities. Hasn't been able to really close them out just yet. And we talked about it during the course of the draft. When this is on those initiators, it's a huge impact. So with him being targeted, his champion pool being reduced, he's now fallen back to this Pyke. 1, 3, and 2. And once again, showing attention top. Caps is here as well. Ultimate is available for him. Odo sniffing it out, somewhat aware, immediately paying respect and backing away. But this is going to be at the cost of the tower.
They should give up the tower for G2, but also give them full control on this top side for the Rift Herald that's in 30 seconds as well. So XL are trading the map, yes, and trading towers, but honestly, G2, they can keep pushing here. There's just not enough reinforcements on this top side.
And of course, if people from XL go through the jungle, it's littered with wards, G2 members as well. Each trying to find a way in. The tower is going to fall. 2 in the top lane secured just about now. Odo stepping forward, and XL, no real answer. It's just Abba trying to push this bottom lane.
If I'm XL here, I use the opportunity that BrokenBlade has moved to bot lane to try and move Abbedagge across to contest the Rift Herald play. That would be your best option. It looks like XL at least are aware that they should be going for the Rift Herald here, especially with the reset from Caps on this top side.
The awkward position is Odoamne. He has to catch this wave top. He is very close to level 11. Abbedagge will start to make his way up, but Caps is going to do the same. He comes back into the fight with 2 fully completed items. You can see Yike hovering off on the left side, looking for an opportunity to fight, but instead G2 have their eyes on Abbedagge. It looks like they're gonna just give this one away. They don't want to fight right now. Instead, they're gonna cross map. Look at BrokenBlade in the bot lane while Abbedagge is moved up. This gives BrokenBlade a window to actually push in this wave. They know that Abbedagge is gonna try and respond. Caps, though, may have found Peach.
Well, here comes Yike. Not enough members of G2 just yet, but still stepping forward, firing out those Void Seekers, and for now, XL escape. I mean, that 2,000 gold difference is predominantly in the hands of BrokenBlade in the top lane. 1.5k up over his opposite number. So much threat in that side lane. And XL, for the time being, have at least traded some of those objectives once G2 commits.
And this is the problem that you have for XL. BrokenBlade is massive in a side lane comparatively to Odoamne. You want Abbedagge to be playing in a side lane, but doesn't really have the capacity to do so right now with how Caps can so easily clear out waves. Actually, it's even BrokenBlade who's matching him on the bottom side. So I think this is where, as long as G2 prevent XL from getting much value out of this Herald play, they should be in a good spot.
I agree. I think right now, G2 is sitting in a very comfortable spot. Obviously, easy thing to say when they have 9 kills to 3 and 2k gold up, but it all comes back to this element of scaling. Now, one thing I will say for XL is they've always been pretty good at finding creative fights. While we've seen so many great outplays from G2 in this game, we saw a fair share of them from XL yesterday. They just need to tap into that. And obviously in a more chaotic game, it definitely helps you warm up a little bit more, get used to the situation that you're in, kind of alleviate some of the pressure that you're feeling of being in the finals. And I think we're starting to see that. Limit definitely being unlocked on the map, looking for plays, is definitely encouraging the rest of XL to be proactive as well.
And it looks like for XL, they're just, hey, we're going to split map. BrokenBlade, you can take that bot tower. We're going to dive onto Caps.
All right, Caps is be held in place by the Maokai ultimate. Killer instincts away, lockdown immediately from Peach, and stays alive a few seconds longer. Kill ultimately secured. There's not a lot of objectives to play for. Now, all of a sudden, XL, they're going to drop that Rift Herald, and the middle lane, Hansama's trying to take out that mid XL tower.
Static shift on Abbedagge means that he can probably clear out the way, but actually already in position to step forward as here they go in mid.
Abbedagge is going to sort over the wall. Yike was looking for that engage. The rest of XL continue to apply pressure in the top lane. 2 towers to 4. This Rift Herald charge and no one around to defend. They should be able to get that, make it 3.
The problem is, though, XL are now giving up position on Dragon as well, so that win condition that we were kind of talking about where XL are trying to play off this 2-item spike. You can see in LeBlanc can start to come through into Peach. It's going to be out of the equation. Patrik, though.
Ooh, BrokenBlade has been teleported on. 1v3 for now, but not enough members of XL to apply damage. Peach stuck in the corner, and take a look at that counter-strike. BrokenBlade just about does it. Ultimately taken down by Odo. G2 will secure the Dragon in reply.
No miracle play this time for BrokenBlade. 3 members of XL will be enough to sentence him to death. He will lose his life, lose his flash too, but Patrik lose both summoners. Mikyx now in a bit of danger.
A little bit flanked. Abbedagge is managing to chip away. Odo gets the Mega Gnar. Hansama forced to cleanse and flash for his life. And G2 arrived just in time to take out Odo. That was so incredibly close.
The level of trust that Hansama had in Mikyx there is absolutely insane as Abbedagge looks for Caps.
The chains connect. Limit's looking for the death from below. That's another kill secured for XL. Now the Magnet Storm is chucked out from Yike. It will take out Limit. Creech is able to arrive, throw down the naked BrokenBlade. Now been able to rejoin the fight. Turns his attention over to Patrik and bops him on the head. The stun connects onto Peach, and XL are now running away from the most fed member of G2. BrokenBlade will get chained into place. Abbedagge needs to get to this blast pod and will do so, but not before BrokenBlade jumps forward. Another is taken out in his own jungle.
That fight was so long, but it was the story of BrokenBlade getting his revenge, takes down Patrik, takes down Abbedagge, and G2 will take down the Baron as a result.
What was that brawl? Remember that started off with Odoamne dying as he tried to kill Hansama. Like, that was such a crazy extended fight. Everyone is now dead just as the Baron spawns, which means that G2 are going to get an uncontested objective for free.
Limit and Odo in the area, but there's too many members. All 5 of G2 arrive. Killer Instinct is thrown out and is forced to hop over the wall. And a 20-minute Baron after a 2-minute fight. And once again, is G2 in control of this game. They managed to accrue a significant advantage. And look at that, Jax. 4-1-1 plus 1.5k. He's playing the side lane, he's playing the skirmishes, he's absolutely everywhere.
I was going to say that I felt like it was G2 that was kind of getting lost in the skirmishes. They were starting to fall apart. It's like Hansama and Mikyx getting caught out here. Again, look at the level. We don't have time.
No, we don't, because Caps is once again being jumped on. Abbedagge and Limit trying to find the kills, and they do. But can they get out alive? Abbedagge uses that W. Hansama running through the river. It doesn't look like many other members of XL are trying to help out. Limit the sacrificial lamp for now. BrokenBlade looking for Abbedagge. It's a fight on 2 fronts. Limit is being slowed down. Will be stunned up by Braum in a moment, and this is supportal combat if ever I've seen it. Living artillery from Hansama will not find his target. Abbedagge has escaped. Limit, for the time being, has escaped, and XL won't lose any more just yet.
But he ended up bringing G2 to the places XL were trying to trade on the map for it. Yes, you get Abba and Limit out, but you can see they weren't really in a position as XL to push out that top wave. It was crashed underneath their own tier 2, and then for Odo, couldn't quite get onto that mid lane tower in time either. So G2, yes, they invested onto the bottom side, but XL can't really answer with anything on the map.
I will say I love the idea though, like sending Abbedagge and Limit to attack these side lanes and look for picks, I think is a big strength of their composition, and you see how much mobility this duo has. It's very difficult for G2 to really lock them down after they find that initial pick. And to XL's credit, they pushed out top, they pushed out mid, and so it's just a lot of time wasted from G2's Baron. You can see they're actually at negative gold right now with only a minute left. Now they've got a wave stacking up bot. They're going to try and siege onto this tier 2 to reclaim some of that gold back.
There's only a couple of 100 gold separating in total. Obviously, the compositional difference has to be factored in. XL still feeling there is opportunities. Maokai throws down that ultimate. Odo needs to get that Mega Gnar charge as BrokenBlade pushes out Abba. Caps is waiting from the side lane, connects with that Void Missile. Actually just missed. It was dodged and sidestepped. Like it goes back in, but simply doesn't have the damage. And XL, they are chunked out and forced away.
But that was everything in the kitchen sink thrown by XL, and now you can see the G2 still come out with the prize. They will be able to get good resets off here, look for their second dragon, and look to keep XL contained on their own side of the map.
It was a 5 versus 4, and G2 still walk away with the tower. This Braum adding so much value into the Maokai, just weathering the storm, tanking all of that up. Man, the XL just couldn't find the engagement they wanted. So now we kind of take stock of the whole map situation. Obviously the Baron is about to fall off. Not the greatest Baron power play we've ever seen. XL should be able to get this tower back, maybe not, as BrokenBlade has something to say about it. Patrik has all of his summoners up.
Forced a flash follow-up, pulled over the wall, but now it's all of a sudden G2 looking at Peach. Backup coming from Hansama and Mikyx, and BrokenBlade is on the hunt. Nobody can stand toe-to-toe.
Dragon now.
The fact that now Flash and Cleanse blown for Patrik. Dragon is spawned, G2 have control. They're pushing out that middle lane. BrokenBlade looks to be pushing out bottom.
I think XL need to try and fight for this mid priority and then immediately move up to meet Abbedagge in this top side. See if they can threaten the top inhibitor turret as this is going down. Abbedagge actually though has abandoned top side, so not really in a position at the moment to get that, but will get mid in response.
Nice tower take there from Abbedagge. Getting closer to level 15. 2 dragons now for G2. XL happy to concede that. Okay, game 2 definitely giving us an interesting situation. It feels like a game that G2 should be stomping, but XL have done a great job of just maintaining this gold difference between the two teams. Even after the Baron XL have succeeded in slowing down. Something we heard the analyst desk talking a lot about was how ideally they want to slow down the game a little bit more, but that was more towards if they wanted to go for these scaling compositions. And again, this is the thing that we come back to. Even though you've slowed the game down, you've kept the game relatively even with the great disparity in kills, are you confident in your ability to win out on these late game team fights when it's Hans Sama's Kog'Maw?
And that's the thing, in Game 5 of XL, it was Hans Sama's Kog'Maw that stepped up when he had that Blade of the Rune King completed, and he is incredibly close to finishing that third item, and it feels like that's exactly what G2 are waiting for to pop off.
He averaged 1,000 damage per minute in the series versus XL, which is insane. We looked into the stats more, we were like, was there like a single outlier? No, there wasn't. This man just averaged 1,000 damage per game. That damage percentage, 39%. is crazy, especially when you think about how impactful Caps and BrokenBlade have been as well. So the man on your screen right now, Hans Sama, is the man in the late game that G2 can rely on.
And will be asking to step up once again. Members of G2 inside the jungle. Mikyx will throw out that ult, and XL forced to back away. When you said it several times, it feels like G2 should be stomping, and of course it is still fairly close. Limit and Abbedagge, can they find the angle? Can they assassinate at least one of these backline characters? The thing is, even if they do, there's so much more to contend with.
All G2 have to do is keep XL interested here, because look at where BrokenBlade is. He's just pushing in on this bottom side, completely unmatched. Limit forced to reset as well because he took so much damage. So G2 win the 4 versus 5 thanks to the poke from Caps and Hans Sama, and BrokenBlade's winning the side lane.
All right, we did see a quick glimpse there of Abbedagge, who's got 3 items completed, plus a small amount of gold over Caps when he landed. That Orb of Deception, it is a decent chunk onto Hans, but he needs to combo it with other members of the squad. Baron is now up. We're still 2.5 minutes from the next dragon. Not playing for the most exciting of souls, but maybe those giant blast cones, maybe that can give an angle of attack to surprise members of G2, as Limit is once again looking for that flanking or fishing opportunity. Odo's in the bottom lane, teleport available to him. BrokenBlade can come in behind if he wants to.
Mikyx doing such a good job of denying XL access to the wave, though. You can see that they have to get it fully pushed in before they can attack it, which means G2 get position in river and may just look to try and pick XL off as they start the Baron.
It looks like G2 going to use this Baron to pull XL towards them, starting to burn through it. Odoamne so close to Mega Gnar, needs to have an impact. Limit still not finding his target, just got thrown out. Unbreakable is up and thwarting the further engage. Now G2 on the retreat. Limit once again will not find his target. Good damage onto Hans Sama because he escapes with his life with the flash blown. BrokenBlade caught amongst XL, flashes away from the Gnar, flashes away from the CC. G2 will not secure the objective.
A lot of flashes burnt there. I feel like G2 didn't get a lot off the back of starting that Baron. If I'm XL, I'm pretty happy with how that skirmish played out. You still have flashes on Peach, Abbedagge, Odoamne, and Patrik, versus no flash on Hans, no flash on Mikyx, no flash on BrokenBlade. BrokenBlade's flanks have been devastating, both in the last time they met and in this series. But having that not having that flash rather, makes those flanks that much harder. So XL, they played that very well, very patiently, and they weathered the pressure from G2 effectively.
And now they get to reset, come out onto the map faster as well, as G2 didn't quite get there in time. Push out these waves, look for position in mid lane that can then move over towards Dragon. And that's where they can look to try and punish the fact you don't have these flashes as these ultimates start to come back up on XL. Again, keep your eyes on Odoamne. Has that flash ult available, and he needs to make it count.
Oh, keep your eyes on Caps.
Oh my god.
Jeez. WQ will Limit almost one shot. He's forced away. Side lane pressure is still being traded back and forth. Broken shoves the wave in. It's caught there by Odo. And I will take this brief moment. I wasn't able to run this during game 1, but just a quick highlight of how the games went last week. G2 wins all the way up there. You can see the gold graph, positive for them, reflective by XL as well. I mean, this was the type of series we saw last week. And XL, despite the comp differences, they are still in with the shot.
Especially having evened up that gold, you can see XL just slowly but surely starting to whittle that. But 3 items now complete onto Hans Sama, 3 items onto Caps. This is where it becomes so difficult to try and step up. They need to find some way to make this happen. G2 are going to start up Baron. They know Odoamne hasn't reset, and they're trying to get the TP.
There's no flash for Hans Sama. Patrik has his available. The wall is up, but Odoamne is going to arrive. Baron is still going to be like Peach. Inside the corner, stolen! Peach steals away the Baron! Now what can XL do in the fight? Magnastorm is dropped. Hansama's got one, got two. And XL running for their lives as the third falls as well. They steal the Baron, but they lose the fight.
G2 take the gamble and they lose. Peach makes a miracle play. The question is, can XL get away with it? 3 members dead. Abbedagge, you can't afford to lose this right now.
Death from below still available. Mikyx manages to sidestep that bone skewer. Abbedagge and Limit trying to interrupt and frustrate XL. G2 rather, as they will secure the dragon. I mean, it's gold, but it's not enough for the side lane pressure.
I mean, 3 items onto the Kog'Maw absolutely shreds everyone in this. Great ultimate from Mikyx as well, just caused issues. So Peach sends off the ultimate to catch G2 in the pit, flashes over. Abbedagge just getting some pressure on the side, but great smite coming through there. And then as they start to move in, you can see here that you just don't have the opportunity to really step up. It's actually Yike, sorry, you get a big engage onto the backline there, and just Hansama untouched. The Runaan's Hurricane, Blade of the Rune King, Gwynsu's, he's doing so much work in this.
Despite the fact Patrik had that flash available, was caught by Yike's engage. Now, all of a sudden, G2 on the verge of that soul. Gold is dead even. XL, they are demonstrating that if they can find the angles, they are able to punish.
I will say, Patrik likely developing a newfound hatred for horses after playing against Fnatic's Rell yesterday and playing against G2's today. He constantly gets caught by these Rell engages, and they are so difficult to navigate his way through, but credit to him. Level 16, full level over Hansama. The gold is dead even though, as BrokenBlade has found Odo.
All right, Limit and Yike also arriving. Teleport is being committed here from Caps. Won't find the W, steps forward with the E. Hansama also now joining the fight. Nature's Grasp thrown down. Odo, he's jumped on. Catherine will not find the kill. BrokenBlade jumps in the midst of 3. Abbedagge is trying to take out at least somebody. Oh, BrokenBlade, that kills Limit. The rest of G2 rushing forward. The hop, the skip, the jump from Odo. The giant blast code sends BrokenBlade into the base, basically, of XL. And there's so many kills secured. 1, 2, 3. And BrokenBlade's not done yet. He started this fight and he wants to end it, as Peach will get shut down for the quadra kill.
Abbedagge will refuse the penta by slamming the door shut in BrokenBlade's face, but he's going to have a big old smile on that face. Quadra for the Jacks. G2 are in the base, and they are looking to open it up.
I mean, that just started because of a Tribush ward. Abbedagge is staring down 4 members of G2. Has got some Baron and Park minions to work with in 15 seconds before Patrik is up. 20 for his top duo, but Abbedagge almost burst out from Caps. He's looking for that Void Seeker. Limit stepping away. Minions not too many to speak of, and Mikyx looking for Limit. 3 seconds for Patrik. 1 Nexus turret will fall. Another to follow. No teleports available for the solo laners. G2, they get half of XL's base, and they get out.
Wow. So, huge respect to BrokenBlade for just not being afraid to force these engages. He really understands the limits of his champion. The Zhonya's buying so much time to bring the counter-strike back up. XL, though, they want to keep chasing this. They want to punish G2 for staying out on the map for so long. There's no neutrals really for XL to trade for. They're really just looking for anything that they can find. But G2 have been able to disengage. They should be able to get away to safety.
Oh, fight, fight, fight. XL going deep. BrokenBlade's in that top lane. Odo and Abba have found him. Limit is just poked down from long range. BrokenBlade's able to escape with his life. Now all of a sudden, G2, they are on the hunt. Odo's got Mega Gnar on the way, and XL finally able to group up. That blast code will give them distance and space and time. Yike is slowed down, but for how long? Magnet Storm is available to him, and Odo needs to do something magical. Abbedagge and Peach in the wind.
Oh my god.
Goodbye, Abbedagge! Caps flies in with that killer instinct, and Odo is slowed down. Patrik now, at least on the front line, trying to spit out something back. But XL chased so far, they ended up being hunted themselves.
I mean, XL tried to throw a haymaker, chase down G2, see if they can find the kills. G2 dodging and replying kind, managing to get those kills, get control of the map. And now you look, 55 seconds until Dragon. XL are forced underneath their own base once more, and this is where G2 are looking to thrive.
Such a crazy game state. This game has been about nothing but fighting, brawling, skirmishing. I'm running words as these two teams just want to go pound for pound, blow for blow. The dragon spawns in 35 seconds. You imagine that this will be the last cage fight between the two in this game. Hans Sama, 4 items. Caps, 4 items. BrokenBlade, 4 items. This G2 squad is incredibly strong. They have reached that late game spike, and now it's up to XL if they can make the outplay.
Just feel how XL wanted this comp to work, but they did not generate enough of an advantage. Patrik and Peach thrown their ults out. Blast Cone used as well. Flashing Cleanse is available for Hans Sama. Keep an eye on that as he's pulled backwards, but there's no follow-up damage. Caps just spitting out those Seekers from the side, and Assault will be secured. XL tried to contest, ultimately we're pushed away.
Well, they can't now. Patrik has no ult and he has no flash, and we've seen what the engages have been like for Patrik. So G2 would get Soul uncontested, but XL had spent so much time trying to buy space in the jungle. Now they're found again.
All right, Mikyx and Breakable will go down in a moment. Limits looking on the side. Odo does not have Mega Gnar available, and BrokenBlade flanking. Has flash. Caps has so much damage. Killer Instinct forward, and Abba manages to dodge for a second or two longer. BrokenBlade looking for that Counter-Strike stun. Patrik, no ult, no flash for a second, and is not going to be able to escape for now. Finally, by some time, BrokenBlade runs him down with that Empowered Strike, and Limit is left for dead. 4 members of G2 on the hunt. Odo finally looking towards that Mega Gnar, but there's no damage to follow it up. Abba and Patrik are down, and Hans Sama is on the hunt. That is so much damage from the Bio-Arcane Barrage, and nobody can stand in the face of this Kog'Maw. 26 kills. That Soul was secured. Now the top inhibitors being focused down, and G2 are looking to close this out.
I mean, BrokenBlade's going to have his TP up now in 5 seconds. Should be able to keep this wave alive. Although, as I say, that Abbedagge, a couple of seconds until he is up. Can G2 try and finish off this push? They believe so. They're TP'ing in.
A lot of minions to work with. Odo being chunked a little lower. Top inhibitor falls. A couple supers in that middle lane. Here comes Abbedagge. Not enough damage through the Unbreakable. The Nexus is forced, is focused, is blown up. 2-0 to G2.
And a confident win once more from G2. I mean, the early skirmishing of a Kog'Maw is not exactly what I came in here looking to discuss, but Hans Sama and G2 making it look easy. They take the fight to XL in the early stages. They take control of the game. And from that position, XL, they did a good job of trying to bamboozle G2.